Why is Gen Z so nihilistic? Let's talk. No, Gen Z is a very nihilistic group, and it kind of makes you wonder why that is. There are economic issues, there's climate anxiety, there's political issues, there's that good old pandemic, and we all remember that, it was in the papers. There's the decline in traditional anchors, religiosity is dropping, community involvement and stuff is dropping. There's a lot of things happening that make this a more difficult world to live in, not to mention, inflation's been so horrible, prices are so high, blah, 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 all these things. Okay, we all understand this. We all live in the same place, right? So is nihilism a bad response? Is it an inappropriate response? I don't think it is. I think it's actually somewhat of an adaptive response. I think that it makes perfect sense when you're faced so much negative to kind of anticipate the negative and to have a more nihilistic view. But it depends on how you handle that. Some people, they take their nihilism and they go out and they try to do good. They try to do something useful and worthwhile. Other people just get depressed and cynical and unhappy, which accomplishes nothing. The many things I've had the opportunity to learn through life, how we view the world, the attitude we bring to it makes a huge difference, and we control that. That's within our control, whether we have a positive or negative attitude. Even within the negative, we can have a positive attitude. As an example, I think that if you take a lot of drugs and drink yourself to death and do all these negative things as a result, that's not a great response, and that's not helping anybody. But I think if you look at the world and say, you know what? All I can do is make my little part of the world better. That's all I can do. And you try to do that. You try to be a positive influence and try to make the world a little better. You can't change your circumstances, but you can certainly change the approach you take to your circumstances. So I think that's the kind of thing people can do to make a better world for all of us. If all of us, and I know it's been said many times, but if all of us are out there trying to make the world a little better, being nice to people, being polite, being pleasant, being aware of other people, by the way. Interesting how people live on their phones and are unaware of people around them. But if we weren't, if we were a little more aware, if we said, excuse me, and didn't park in the middle of things and get in people's way, and just trying to be a little bit nicer and a little bit more considerate, wouldn't that make the place at least you're in a little bit better? And if other people around you are doing the same thing, wouldn't that have a positive effect on the world regardless of the negative things going on in the world? We can't control what happens out there. We can't control these major issues, but we can control our response to them, and we can try to make the places we inhabit a more positive place to be. I think that's worthwhile. You can enjoy the world you're in or you can hate it, but you're in it. And that's where you live. And isn't it nicer when we make where we live a nice place? I think we should all strive to do that. And if enough of us do strive, then at least the parts that we touch will be a little bit better as a result. And that will be, I think, using nihilism for the good. As always, I appreciate you taking the time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.